Yeah, welcome to Simply Bitcoin Live. We're your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution, code breaking news, culture, matic warfare. We will be your guide through the separation of money and state. Guys, we're going to change it up a little bit today. I know some of you are concerned about what's going on with one of our partners, Swan Bitcoin. We've been getting a lot of questions over DMs and in the live chat. We hear you, and that's why we asked Corey, the CEO and founder of Swan, to come on the show today to talk about it. So I want to welcome Corey on stage. How you doing, Corey?
What's up, man? How are you?
Good, dude. Just you know what? Bitcoin time is just every week, bro. It just moves so quickly and everything happens so fast. What's going on with you?
All good. Yeah, I think, you were just asking me just a second ago, like, are you stressed out? And I was like, I mean, not really, because this business is actually not the most complicated business to run. And we have a spectacular team that you couldn't get in a normal industry for a business that's not that complicated. Like, you couldn't get this kind of team where everybody's way overqualified for their job and like on the mission and willing to work an 80-hour week when you need to, if you were working on like a fucking SaaS company or ad tech or something like that. It's just, so my experience in startups, there's never seen anything like this. And so, we basically get all our shit done year round until there's a social media firestorm or a migration, of back-end partners or whatever. And then it's okay, because you basically work in peaks and valleys. So I feel like we all have, plenty in reserve, and we celebrate at Pacific Bitcoin and celebrate in Miami and hang out with each other in Mexico City or El Salvador or whatever. And there's all this camaraderie, built up. And, it's very similar to like what, I had not a front row seat, but a second row seat to what Unchained went through with all the liquidations on the night of, March 12th, 2020. And, that team banded together and handled their shit, and everybody was fine. And it's the love and dedication and honor and integrity of Bitcoiners working on Bitcoin shit that makes it happen. So, I feel pretty good overall. Like, I'm not that stressed out. And I'm glad we made the decision to start diversifying our back end partners back in Q4, and that we actually started doing it in January, and we were sort of well equipped to handle it when it came time to pull the trigger a few weeks ago. And I figure, for you guys in the audience and everybody, like, just to address the timing of why we did it. So first of all, we were already planning to migrate over to Fortress plus BitGo, mainly for geographic coverage. So this was just getting back into all 50 states. So Prime Trust used to have 50 states. They lost New York a couple years ago when New York decided not to honor trust companies from other states. That was like 30% of our business that we lost at the time. And then, unfortunately, a lot of people are angry that we lost Texas. So Prime Trust lost Texas. That was like 15% of the remaining business. And then they were just kind of bleeding state after state. So they were down to 44 states when we finally decided to pull the trigger. And the reason that we decided to do it all at once instead of kind of slower over 3 months or something like that was the Connecticut regulator was a dick, basically. All of the previous ones had said, yeah, you can keep these accounts open and keep the Bitcoin there, but no more purchases. Was pretty much the mode. And then Connecticut said, no, you have to close and you have to sell the Bitcoin of all your users and distribute dollars to them by May 31st. And so when we saw that, we were like, oh man, like that's just not tenable. That creates tax consequences. It kind of betrays the trust of everything that we kind of stand for. And so we decided to just rip the Band-Aid off and do the whole migration at once. So withdrawals were available throughout. Concierge for the first week or so. And then we got the self-serve withdrawals back on, I think on Monday or maybe Tuesday morning. So it was back in the user interface. Buys are back for almost everybody, I think, at this point. I know it was over half of the people by yesterday and should be pretty much everybody else today. And then we should have the automatic recurring purchases plans turned back on for next week. So if you have a normal buy planned for like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, that should work next week. And that's pretty much it. The last one after that will just be automatic withdrawals. I know a lot of people have those set up, so we should have that functionality ported over to the Fortress BitGo stack. I actually don't know, maybe like end of next week, something like that. I don't have a target for that, but soon-ish. I'll pause for a sec. I'm also in the chat, by the way, so I'll take a look and see and maybe pick off questions from the chat.
Yeah, and then Corey, I actually wanted to ask you about a tweet that came out yesterday night, and I think it's really really important that people understand this. So I'm just going to read the first paragraph and just kind of ask you to elaborate. So you said it's important that qualified custodians serve Bitcoin companies so that brokerage can be separate from custody, as is law for traditional markets. Why is that so important?
Yeah. So and I set this up from the very beginning, I didn't want to custody user funds at Swan ever, because then if Swan goes under, you actually have the assets, and you can say what you want in the legal text or whatever, and say like, oh no, actually our customers own this, but that's not always the way that bankruptcy courts see it. And we've seen that with a number of crypto collapses over the years. So I think that our users have always really appreciated, and this is just talking for like retail and high net worth individual users, have always appreciated, when they understand it, they've appreciated the fact that their account is actually an individually owned, legally segregated, bankruptcy remote trust account held with a qualified custodian. And that means that if the custodian goes bankrupt or Swan goes bankrupt, you still own your coins legally and they're distributed to you. So that, I think, is the right way to set it up if you're not doing self-custody or collaborative custody, right? So I'm just, to clarify, I think the way that Unchained approaches it with multi-sig and the way that we will approach multi-sig with Swan custody, the stuff we're building with Spectre after buying them last year, that's under the bucket in the realm of self-custody. It's not being held by some third party. And that's why Bitcoin Tech is awesome. Anyway, so take self-custody if you can. The other thing to consider, which is maybe different for us than some of the other Bitcoin brokers out there, is that we actually have a lot of people that cannot work with a company that custodies the Bitcoin. So advisors, we have a big business where we work with wealth managers and registered investment advisors. And so they actually have to have the assets in a qualified custodian. It can't, like, they couldn't have the sats just custodied with, a Bitcoin broker, basically. Yeah, more questions.
Gotcha. Okay, I want to be respectful of your time, Corey. I know you have to leave in about 4 or 5 minutes.
No, I'm good actually. I thought you wanted me till 9:40 Pacific, so it's up to you.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, just people in the chat saying, Corey, check your DMs. I sent my app. I'm gonna take a more lighthearted question, trying to change the tone a little bit. It says, Corey, will Seattle get the Sonics back? If so, when do you think?
I think so. Yeah, I think that they're going to expand from 30 to 32 teams, have 16 in each conference, 8 in each division. Makes a ton of sense. Like the NFL, 32 teams is a great number. And Seattle seems like it's top of the list. And I've heard, probably Vegas maybe. So I guess you'd see probably 2 teams added to the West, and one of the West teams maybe moved east, maybe Memphis or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay. So back to Swan. Where do you see the future of Swan?
Hold on. Very, very, very important question in the chat from Yellow. No, your sponsorship is good to go. So yeah, we still expect birdies and Muppets and stuff at Pacific Bitcoin on the main stage.
Perfect. And I got a soundboard for that.
Don't stop believing. Hodl to that feeling.
Yellow's always listening. Yeah. So Corey, where do you see the future of Swan 6 months to a year out from now?
Yeah. So, I mean, this is the craziest thing is, Monday with the Binance suit immediately sent me into, 20 hours of conversations and strategic planning and thinking about what that means with the SEC cracking down on all the unregistered crypto securities, basically. And then Coinbase, obviously, on Tuesday, it just basically creates this massive open field for fast running for Bitcoin financial services companies over the next 3 years. And the reason I say 3 years is because I think that traditional financial companies will go heavy on Bitcoin at the top of the next bull market, and then they'll get something in market like 12 months later. So basically, T plus 12 whenever we're sort of peaking in whatever the next bull market is. So I'm just kind of loosely saying like 3 years. And then the other thing that you might see is if we continue to grow and, Strike, River, Unchained, one or more of them continue to do well, I do think you'll see something like, $100 million seed round from Andreessen for a Bitcoin only financial services firm, kind of like the Lightspark deal, something like that. Right. So, the existing four that have reached some scale, Strike, River, Unchained, Swan, I think have like a really good 3 years ahead of us. And it makes sense to go as fast as you possibly can. So we are, dramatically increasing marketing, dramatically increasing staff, going to go raise a bunch of money this fall and, just go absolutely as fast as we can. Like I'd like to see Swan over 200 people by the end of the year. I think we're about 115 right now. I just greenlit, what is Friday? On Wednesday, I greenlit a 15x increase in marketing spend for Swan. And it will be higher ROI because you don't have, I think what you'll see is the crypto casinos dramatically dropping their spend in the advertising auctions. So it should be really easy to get these slots at the top of Google search results and to get your ads to show up much more cheaply and much more cost effectively and to be clicked on much more and converted to users, in Facebook display network, things like that. So yeah, it's freaking go time.
Yeah, we got a question in the chat. I think it's a really good one. Max Trotter says, when Lightning withdraws?
Oh, I already do Lightning withdrawals on Swan. Well, yeah, I think we're trickling it out. It's kind of with an alpha group. It's the whole Swan team is using them. They're awesome. And we will, now obviously we've got to get through this migration, but I think it's already working again on the Fortress BitGo side. And we did have a few alpha users outside the company testing them before we started the migration. But yeah, I mean, in the next month or so, you'll see in your dashboard withdraw to Lightning address.
Awesome. There was a very, very, I saw this tweet and it made me feel something. You said back on June 6th, so a couple days ago, you said 2002 to 2008, golden age of online gambling fraud. 2009 to 2006, golden age of ad tech fraud. 2017 to 2022, golden age of crypto fraud. And I want to reference also, what happened earlier on the week. Binance was sued on Monday, and then Coinbase was sued on Tuesday. It seems like Coinbase is putting up a little bit of a fight. Binance, it was announced this morning that they're halting dollar deposits into the exchange. So what are your thoughts on that, as the CEO of a Bitcoin only company?
My thoughts on just like what's going on with Binance and what will happen there. I mean, they're done in the USA and they're going to face massive financial penalties just based on the SEC case. And if CZ doesn't cough that up and basically never step foot in the USA again, then, they'll start creating lots of problems for him outside the USA as well. That leaves aside that, there's probably 50 to 100 things in the SEC case that are criminal and are pursuable by Department of Justice. And so those come with criminal charges and jail time and things like that. So we'll see what happens on that end. But the DOJ hasn't stepped in yet. But they've got the goods there. These are like actual internal documents from Binance and chat transcripts and emails from Binance executives to each other, detailing a multi-year criminal conspiracy.
Yeah. And so, and how is the industry going to change, right? Because, the ability for, these ICO people or crypto developers to, get in the pre-sale and then get it listed on an exchange, those days are over. How is that going to change the whole perspective? Are more people, do you anticipate more people to focus on Bitcoin only? Because I know that the whole crypto thing was a major distraction. Also in the lawsuits, a lot of very, very popular cryptos were named as securities, just to name a few. There was, of course, the BNB token, Cardano, which is very popular, Dash, Matic, et cetera, et cetera. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's going to be way easier to get people to focus on Bitcoin in the United States for sure. And I think that will have a carryover effect around the world as well. Just call a spade, understand what it is, understand you're buying something that they're marketing as essentially an unregistered security, but you have no rights. So you're just basically playing a confidence game and kind of a greater fool, essential Ponzi scheme with all these things other than Bitcoin. So I think that the education path becomes easier. The come in hearing about Bitcoin, get confused by shit coins, and then realize Bitcoin matters. You know, the shit coin horseshoe, I think, becomes shorter and shallower on average for everyone around the world that gets into the space. So yeah, just kind of wildly bullish for Bitcoin and Bitcoin adoption to clearly delineate between Bitcoin and shitcoin.
Yeah, absolutely. And one final question, Corey, just to roll it out. And I just got this over DM and for people tuning in. So just to be clear, user funds are secured and you anticipate everything should be completely back online in the next couple of weeks.
I mean, everything's back on. Withdrawals never paused. Self-serve withdrawals were back on in your dashboards at the beginning of the week. Buys are back on for almost everybody today. Majority of people yesterday, the rest stragglers today, is what I'm told. And then, yeah, that's it really. I forget what the first part of the question was.
the first part of the question.
Oh, funds are SAFU. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We moved all the assets off weeks ago.
Gotcha.
Off of Prime Trust. So like just in the event that they wouldn't raise enough money and regulators would clamp down in some way because their balance sheet was weak or an acquisition falls through or something like that, like it just didn't make any sense in my mind to leave any user funds at risk. So we asked everybody to come along with us. So far, 0.2% of users have opted out and decided not to go along to the new backend partners.
Bullish. Okay. Opti, I want to bring you up. Do you have any questions for Corey?
Not at all. I mean, just shouts out to Corey and Swan and the whole team. You know, what do we always say? A Bitcoin company by Bitcoiners for Bitcoiners. So I am sure the Bitcoiners over there, solid team, are doing their best to ensure funds are SAFU, and everyone in the chat saying funds are SAFU. Swan says funds are SAFU.
Is that like a CZ thing? What is the SAFU
Yeah,
thing?
it's a CZ thing.
I don't like crypto memes.
Me neither. You know when they paused the withdrawal, I tweeted it out. I said, I guess funds are not SAFU when the SEC asked to freeze the assets.
I know. I mean, my favorite is like every time there's like a Binance headline, I just retweet, I quote tweet it, and I just say "still 4?" ? Because CZ evidently says that number 4 means that's just FUD or don't worry about it or something like that. Anyway,
well, Corey, I know your time is precious. Thank you so much for coming on Simply today and clarifying it all for our viewers and listeners. We really appreciate it on Simply side, and I'm sure our viewers and listeners appreciate it as well. Thank you, Corey.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, guys.
All right, take care. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. How you doing, Opti? What are we going to talk about during the culture, brother?
Well, I mean, we went 20 minutes long, so I was wondering, I was going to hit you in the DMs whether we were going to actually hit the culture. But we've been seeing a lot of talk from the altcoin or shitcoiners. We're past 2 minutes the last couple of weeks, and I have some tweets here from some of our favorite Bitcoin maxis, and I got the perfect responses for you guys for when a shitcoiner comes at you and it's like, hey, man, we're all in this together. Why are you guys cheering on regulation and all this? And it's like, no, let's clarify some things. So I'm sure you guys saw this. If you're on Twitter, it's a Jimmy Song response. I also got a Pierre Rochard response. And then we got some Matt Odell stuff in here. And then, of course, we should have some time to talk about this. But I don't know. Time's a little different today. So we'll see what happens.
Special edition, bro. It's a Friday. It's a Friday edition, Simply Bitcoin. This episode might run a little bit long, but it's okay.
Okay.
Anyways, everybody,
I still got memes for you guys. So.
No more delay. Let's jump straight into the numbers. Let's do it.
The Bitcoin numbers.
Brought to you by Nodl. At this point, you should be running your own Bitcoin node. If you don't use your own Bitcoin node, you're trusting someone else's. Run your own version of Bitcoin Core, the Lightning Network, Whirlpool, and Dojo, all from the comfort of your own home. And if you're a digital nomad, you have absolutely no excuse because now you can run a Nodl through a virtual private server. Visit nodl.eu today. All right, guys, I also want to tell you about the biggest Bitcoin conference on the face of the earth. Bitcoin 2024. It's not going to be in Miami this year. It's going to be in Nashville, Tennessee, July 25th through the 27th, 2024. You can buy your early bird tickets. You can get a GA ticket right now for only $299, an industry pass for $749. And if you're a whale, you can get a whale pass for $4,499. And you can get an even bigger discount with the promo code SIMPLY to get yourself a 10% discount. At the time of recording, the Bitcoin price is $26,460 sats per dollar, 3,779. Block height 793,593. Reachable Bitcoin nodes 17,096. Blocks to halving 46,407. Halving estimates April 20th, 2024. Total Lightning Network capacity 5,371. Bitcoin capacity value 142 million US dollars. Realized monetary inflation 1.75%, and the market capitalization of Bitcoin $513 billion with a B. Anyways, I got a very special clip for you guys. This is Erica Friedland, and she was the basically Trudeau's I think this is a finance minister or something in Canada, right? But she was the lady that made the announcement that they were going to freeze the Canadian truckers' bank accounts due to, the protests and all that stuff. So she was the lady. NVK absolutely finds this clip hilarious. So did I. I'll play it for you guys and then we'll talk about it. Let's check it out.
The Bank of Canada has predicted that inflation will fall to 3% this summer. We're not there yet, but we have made some real meaningful progress, which is being felt in people's lives. Getting through COVID was really hard. Getting through the deep recession caused by COVID was really hard. And today, getting through the global inflation caused by COVID and Putin's invasion continues to be hard. But there is no country in the world that is navigating these challenges more effectively than Canada, and there is no country in the world better positioned for a soft landing than Canada. We are very close to the end of this difficult time and to a return to low, stable inflation and strong, steady growth.
Do you know that all the things that she's like, it was due to everything but a government intervention. It was not our fault. It was everything else. The inflation thing that is literally caused because the government is printing money. No. That was due to the pandemic, and that was due to the invasion of Ukraine. That's right. Inflation, you're paying more at the grocery store because of what, dude. I mean, oh man, it's so ridiculous. Like it's just lying, bro. Like lying bluntly up in your grill with a smile on your face. Smile, like, there we go. Thank you, BJ. BJ's in the chat. Shout out to him. She's a finance minister with no financial background, clearly. But yeah, it's so ridiculous, bro. It's so ridiculous. But I wonder how much people, like, I bet you a lot of people believe that. Like, I bet you a lot of people believe what she's saying, which is the crazy part, and the reason that they say those types of things. I don't think if they would have said those types of things, I don't think if they would have said, I don't think she would say those types of things if she didn't believe that people would believe it, and like, I think this is why financial education is so important. I think this is why what Bitcoiners are doing is so important. Like, it's so crazy to me, taking absolutely no responsibility. Canada's handling this the best. We're great. It's just nuts. What a crazy world we live in. Thank God for Bitcoin. Opti, what's your take?
Yeah, well, my first thought was I don't really watch South Park anymore, but you know that one South Park clip where he's like, "Sorry guys, like we lost your money. Sorry guys, like I'm sorry." Oh no, it was the oil spill. "I'm sorry. We're sorry. Like we're so sorry." I don't know. For some reason that was like the first thing where my brain went. They're just, you know, they're not the reason that the inflation is so high. Like we didn't cause inflation. We didn't print all this extremely ridiculous amount of money. You know, let's pass the blame to someone else because we aren't responsible. We are the best position for a steady landing or whatever the hell she said. Guys, it's kind of what Nico said. First off, the economic illiteracy on display is incredible, but it's something I've been saying for a minute. The only reason they're able to say this stuff on TV is because they know that the audience, at least the people they're speaking to, probably don't know what is actually going on. And that is the Overton window. People actually believe this. So, like, the gaslighting is real. And again, I've been saying this for a while on the show. I am so happy that I'm a Bitcoiner. I cannot even imagine not being a Bitcoiner at this point, but obviously, like, this is why we're early. This is why we are Bitcoiners. This is why you actually have a real understanding of what's going on in the world right now. And it's not that what she say, you know, the war is causing inflation or whatever ridiculous stuff that, you know, at least she kind of hinted on it. Yes, the scamdemic, I don't know if I can say that, so maybe just wrecked our channel, is the reason why we are having this inflation. They printed a ridiculous amount of money, not only in the United States, not only in Canada, but in every first world country in the world. Any country with a central bank right now printed an obscene amount of money, and this is why we're all poorer. Like, this is the crux of the situation. This is why we're feeling inflation. This is why you cannot buy as much stuff at the grocery store as you used to. This is why, you know, the Fed keeps raising inflation rates. This is why the housing market is wrecked. Like, this is why the Eurozone just dropped the news that we are in a recession. There, you know, I thought we changed the rules of a recession. Anyways, like, no, this is the pain. Stack sats, take it into self-custody. This is the way.
Amen. And just to be clear, like, you know, they're clear. There obviously was a pandemic and it was horrible and whatever, but the pandemic didn't cause inflation. It was governments that caused inflation. The pandemic did not cause businesses to shut down. That was governments that made those decisions, that made those businesses shut down, right? So we have to be aware. Like, we have to understand, you know, we have to understand what is actually going on. And, you know, I think the mere fact that, you know, the mere fact that she could have those types of press conferences and she felt so confident in the way that she was speaking tells me that we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. This is not a time to just sit back, relax, and ridicule these people. This is a time to educate. And don't get caught in the left and right dichotomy BS, the divide and conquer thing. It is not red versus blue. It is not left versus right. It is not Democrat versus Republican. It is green versus orange, the party of central bank digital currencies and also known as slavery, and the party of orange, which is the party of prosperity, Bitcoin, and freedom. Right. So, you know, be inclusive in your messaging, be understanding, and be aware of what is actually going on. Like, take agency, stop complaining. You know, we got to get people on our side, on the side of Bitcoin, so that these politicians aren't able to have these types of press conferences and just gaslit the public and take absolutely no responsibility for their actions, right? Anyways, everybody, no more delay. Let's jump straight into the news. Let's check it out.
The Daily News.
The Daily News is brought to you by Blockstream Jade, built by Bitcoiners for Bitcoiners. It's an open source hardware wallet for the cold storage of Bitcoin. Check out the brand new limited edition color, the transparent green jade. Blockstream Jade houses a full color camera, allowing for fully air-gapped Bitcoin transactions, scan and display QR codes directly on the device, assign transactions, and verify addresses with ease. Use your Blockstream Jade with your favorite wallet software, such as Blockstream Green, Blue Wallet, Electrum, Sparrow. Get yourself a Blockstream Jade today and take self-custody of your Bitcoin. All right, everybody. We're going to talk about Binance. So, guys, this is This is some crazy. This week has been absolutely fucking bonkers. You know, there's some weeks and what's the saying, right? There's years that nothing happened. There's decades. There's decades that nothing happens, and then there's years that decades happen. Well, in Bitcoin terms, that's not how it works, right? In Bitcoin terms, there's a week that decades happen. This week was one of those weeks. Anyway, so quick update on this. Binance US to halt dollar deposits after SEC crackdown. This is a Reuters article for our audio listeners. It goes on to say crypto exchange Binance.us said on Thursday it is stopping US dollar deposits and users will soon not be able to withdraw dollars from the exchange after US financial regulators said that they supported freezing Binance assets. The purportedly independent US affiliate of Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange, said in a tweet late on Thursday that its banking partners are preparing to stop dollar withdrawal channels as early as June 13th. Binance US said in the customer notice that it would no longer accept dollar deposits as part of its plans to change to a crypto-only exchange. It did not give details of who its banking partners are. On Monday, the SEC sued Binance, its founder CZ, and the operator of its US exchange. The lawsuit marked a dramatic escalation of a crackdown on the industry by US regulators, with the SEC suing major US exchange Coinbase a day later. The SEC alleged in 13 charges that that Binance artificially inflated its trading volumes, diverted customer funds, failed to restrict US customers from its platform, and misled investors about its market surveillance controls. The SEC on Tuesday asked a federal court to freeze Binance US assets. Binance US called the motion unwarranted, saying it had addressed SEC concerns over the safety of customer assets. So, I mean, dude, for whatever reason, okay, if you're watching Simply Bitcoin, I highly doubt you use Binance. But for whatever reason, if your funds are on Binance, regardless, you heard Corey said in the beginning, right? Regardless of whether it's Binance US or, you know, Binance International, Binance.com, I would suggest taking your exchange, taking your Bitcoin off the exchange and taking it to self-custody. In fact, I wouldn't only just suggest that with Binance. I would just suggest that in general. Just take Bitcoin into self-custody. Stop outsourcing the personal responsibility of the storage of your wealth. We wouldn't be in this problem. We wouldn't be in this mess today if more people started taking personal responsibility over everything, over information, over the storage of their wealth, et cetera, et cetera. But don't worry, guys. Don't worry, because they got Cristiano Ronaldo.
How did the whole suit?
They got Cristiano Ronaldo, everybody. So don't worry about it. Your funds are Safu because they got Ronaldo. It's so ridiculous. Anyways, now in other news, and I think this is the bullish bit that I really want to focus on before we move on. Bitcoin traders shrug off the US's SEC action against Binance and Coinbase. That's right. Two of the largest exchanges in the world got sued by one of the most powerful government in the world. And the Bitcoin price, Honey Badger doesn't care, I guess. Maybe it's too early to say, but I think that's bullish, bro. I think that's bullish. What do you think? What are your thoughts on this, Opti?
Well, first off, very interesting, the saga that we've seen over the last week in regards to Binance. First, we heard, Binance said funds are SAFU, like we're not trading unsecured or unregistered securities. And then the following day we saw them, or maybe 2 days later, we saw them delist shitcoins, and now they are stopping the deposits of dollars. I guess it's only a matter of time until they stop withdrawals as well. So we will see what is happening. But it's becoming very clear that shitcoins are absolutely dead in the United States, and I would not be wanting to be a shitcoiner right now. I know there's still a lot of shitcoiners out there with the hopium bags and their bags full, and expecting the SEC to just get run over by a Binance or a Coinbase, and that your decentralized shitcoin is the exception, bro. Like not my shitcoin, bro. Like mine's different this time. Like this time's different. I kind of agree. Like this time is different. I don't think we've ever had a government regulation clamp down this hard. And again, before you guys call me status, I'm going to cover this in the culture, what the response should be. But if you do have shitcoin bags and you by chance found this channel, I think it would be a good time to dump your shit coins, just go into Bitcoin, be Bitcoin only, sleep very good at night knowing that your Bitcoin is secure because you've taken it off an exchange, any exchange at this point. This is something we've been saying on the show for a long, long time. Do not keep Bitcoin on an exchange unless you are willing to lose it. This is the standard heuristic of all Bitcoiners. It is not your Bitcoin if it's on an exchange. That is an IOU. Until you take that Bitcoin into self-custody, it is not your Bitcoin. And we have all kinds of receipts on the show. We have all kinds of evidence to continuously prove that point, that if you do not take your Bitcoin into self-custody, it is not your Bitcoin. So again, I don't want to be the status Bitcoiner that is cheering on the SEC and clamping down on shitcoin casinos. But hey, as a Bitcoiner, we've told you this. Like, I told you so. We've been saying this for a long time that this day would happen. And I think it is becoming very clear, at least to me. Obviously, I'm biased. There is Bitcoin and there is shitcoin. And I've been saying on the show for a long time, whether it's on Spaces, whether it's on here, that it's becoming priority number one to separate Bitcoin from crypto, because people still think that, you know, there's Bitcoin and there's like a new and better Bitcoin. And I think it's becoming very clear that there's Bitcoin and there's shitcoin, and you do not want to be holding any of these faux decentralized shitcoins that have a corporation or a foundation, because those are businesses. And seemingly, you know, I hate to use the framing of the enemy, but seemingly selling unregistered securities. So protect yourself, play it safe, you know, stay humble, stack sats, as Matt Odell always says. Bitcoin was designed for this. Bitcoin is anti-fragile, and Bitcoin is the only one that will make it through the storm. And I think the storm is just beginning. So protect your own neck first. Don't fall into the shitcoin hopium marketing hype. There's Bitcoin and there's shitcoin. Take your Bitcoin off the exchanges, any exchanges, and hold it in a wallet that you control the private keys of. Like, this is how you protect yourself. This is how you call the bluff of all these banks. Do the, you know, standard bank run on your shitcoin casino and take your Bitcoin back now before it is too late. Like, it's very simple. I feel good. I feel good right now with my Bitcoin in cold storage.
I mean, Opti. Okay, we've reached Bitcoin Zen. Okay, so we've reached this Bitcoin Zen, and the reason that we reached this Bitcoin Zen is because we sleep soundly at night, because we're taking self-custody of our Bitcoin. And I highly suggest Bitcoin Zen for everyone. It's a very spiritual experience, you know, realizing that that you're the sole person that has access to your funds, and no one can take that away from you. In fact, it's so hardcore that if you don't share your Bitcoin seed with your family members before you pass away, you could literally take it with you. Kind of, not really, but no one else is going to take it, which I think is badass. Anyways, you want to make it over the finish line with your generational wealth, right? And the last thing you want to do is you store your Bitcoin wallet seed words on paper. Paper is prone to water damage. It could catch on fire. Your pet could eat it. You want to store your Bitcoin wallet backup seed words and passphrases on the BitPlates Domino. It's easy to use, hard to destroy. They're made from highly corrosion resistant 316 marine grade stainless steel and offers the ultimate protection against extremes of temperatures. You can use the promo code SIMPLY to get yourself 10% off anything on the bitplates.com website. Anyways, everybody, no more delay. Let's jump straight into the culture. We have a lot to talk about today. Let's check it out.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today. All right, guys, I want to tell you about Swan's new offer. Bitcoin is generational wealth, and you can secure your bright orange future with the Swan IRA. Real Bitcoin, no taxes. Swan offers both traditional and Roth options to best fit your needs. Create your IRA and start adding Bitcoin in less than 1 minute. Transfers and rollovers are available. Swan's Bitcoin experts will get you set up with no transfer fees and no minimum balance requirements. This is real Bitcoin, not an ETF or other derivative. Get the real thing and get it at Swan. Go to swan.com/IRA for more details. And of course, if you have any questions, doubts, or concerns, you can always hit me up on Twitter DM. You can hit me up on the Orange Pill app as well. Anywhere your heart desires, you can hit me up and ask me about the Swan IRA. Anyways, Opti, what's up, dude? What are we going to talk about today?
Yeah, so I've been covering it all week. I think we've all been covering it all week, whether you've been on Twitter, whether it is us on this YouTube channel. We understand as Bitcoiners. I think I said it. Yeah, I said it on Wednesday. We had a friend come on here. We were very sarcastic about everything, but we also were giving you guys signal on the idea. Yes, I know a lot of altcoiners, aka shitcoiners out there, are saying that, these big bad laser-eyed cult maxis are cheering on the state to regulate and pick winners and losers in the Bitcoin and crypto space, and we're all in this together and all this BS. And us Bitcoiners are like, bro, like, no, we're not. We've been telling you this was going to happen for a long time. And what's the Blade meme? We told you to take your Bitcoin into self-custody. We told you to dump your shitcoins for Bitcoin. We told you to stop scamming people. And now that the SEC is at the gates, you want to come to me for help? That's kind of a troll. If you know the Blade meme, it's just a little variation on it. But this is how it feels. And I'm using this tweet right here by Odell as a jump off point. And he goes, Bitcoin is designed to be incredibly resistant to government pressure and was built to withstand this exact situation. And a lot of the things that as Bitcoiners talk about sometimes seem only theoretical until you get these moments and times when there is a practical example of what we were talking about. And for a long time, we've seen China crack down on Bitcoin. Now we're seeing the SEC and other US regulations trying to crack down on, right now, crypto. And there's a lot of conflation on Twitter from altcoiners and VC capitalists, shitcoin VC capitalists saying like, oh, bro, like we're in this together. Remember, we did good in the past and you Bitcoin maxis are cult members. Well, I really like this piece right here by Pierre Rochard. Again, I am a huge fan of Pierre Rochard. I will admit freely, he is, I stan Pierre because he's the GOAT, and I wouldn't be here without the work that Pierre has put in over the years. And he always has a way of eloquently explaining what is going on. He's always a sober Bitcoiner. And so I really want to read this little piece that he put on Twitter, because not only does it explain what all of us Bitcoiners know to be true, but hopefully it'll explain to you altcoiners, you shitcoiners out there, why Bitcoiners are quote unquote toxic, why we believe what we believe. And I think it's an important message. Anyways, here's a tweet by Pierre Rochard. He goes, it's understandable why some might perceive Bitcoin maximalism as cult-like due to the community's staunch conviction in Bitcoin's potential. However, this is a misconception primarily based on misunderstanding the principles that underpin Bitcoin maximalism. Bitcoin maximalism at its core is an ideology based on a rational assessment of Bitcoin's unique features: decentralization, robust security, widespread adoption, and a transparent, immutable ledger. Bitcoin was the first successful cryptocurrency and remains the most trusted, tested, and secure. Its proven resilience to attacks, market fluctuations, and regulatory pressure over the past decade gives maximalists a reason to believe in its potential to become a global decentralized store of value, even a global currency. And this is what we've been saying all the time. Bitcoin is the only one that's been tried and tested by everyone and everything. I've said it in the past, and I'm not the first one to say this, but Bitcoin has what? $500 billion bounty on it. And if it wasn't able to withstand nation state attacks, even single individual hackers, then it wouldn't be running as well as it has for the last 14 years. Bitcoin is the only one that's been tested. And this is why, as a Bitcoiner, as a Bitcoin maxi, I trust the network. I trust in mathematics, and there is no single point of failure when it comes to Bitcoin. You guys all running the nodes. We run the nodes. We are the ones that run the network, and it is the only truly decentralized network in the world. There's nothing that even comes close to Bitcoin. And then that's not even talking about the hash power. Bitcoin is the strongest supercomputer in the world. Anyways, there's also a philosophical aspect of Bitcoin maximalism. Maximalists see Bitcoin as a bulwark against financial malpractices, economic inequality, and the capriciousness of centralized systems. Bitcoin's birth in the wake of the 2008 financial crisis symbolizes its role as a challenger to the status quo, offering an alternative to traditional banking systems that have often failed the common people. Bitcoin maximalists aren't just committed to a coin, they're committed to a cause. And I know all you Bitcoiners out there that show up every single day know exactly what I mean. While the community's enthusiasm might seem dogmatic to outsiders, it's essential to distinguish between fervor for a belief system and the negative connotations of a cult. Bitcoin maximalist doesn't involve blind faith or unquestioning obedience, but rather a shared understanding of Bitcoin's potential based on experience, research, and observation. It is a movement fueled by conviction, but also by an openness to dialogue, critical analysis, and peer review. So while Bitcoin maxis may seem like a cult from the outside, it's not one in the true sense. It's a community of believers, yes, but also of skeptics, thinkers, innovators, and activists who share a belief in the transformative potential of Bitcoin. If you've been on Bitcoin Twitter for yes, shouts out to Pierre. If you've been on Bitcoin Twitter for longer than a couple of months, then you know that Bitcoiners hate, you know what Bitcoiners hate more than shitcoiners? They hate Bitcoiners. We fight constantly. We are constantly looking at each other and trying to sharpen our swords in this battle because we realize, well, at least most of us think the same thing. Like we have one choice, one opportunity to really change the world. And this is why Bitcoiners are so serious on Twitter, because this is a very serious thing we are doing here. We are literally David versus Goliath at this point, and everything is up. Like we're up against all of the powers of the world, and I think it's very important for us to not get lost in, you know, having fun and you know, making games and fucking around. It's for, you know, excuse my French, because it is very important what we're doing. We are trying to help humanity. This is the most important experiment, the most important project in the world right now, and is Bitcoin. And to all the shitcoiners out there that, you know, are feeling the pain, they're afraid, and they're like, look, bro, we're all in this together. You know, like, remember, you know, we were the first ones here, and like, we've done so much for adoption, and like, please, bro, like, trust us. Like, we're in this together. How are you a status? I brought this tweet. Well, it's really on Nostr, but Jimmy Song did put this on Twitter. And I love this example. I love how Jimmy framed this. And this would be my response as well, but I am not as eloquent as Jimmy Song. Anyways, he goes, how to answer shitcoin VCs and shitcoiners during this time. And he goes, why aren't you backing us in our struggle against the harsh measures imposed by the government? And Bitcoiners go, Bitcoin was designed to be immune to government interference. You, however, presented yourself as decentralized and hoped that the government would buy it. We have little sympathy for such foolishness. Aren't you opposed to government authoritarianism? Indeed, we are. That's the primary reason we choose Bitcoin. We value self-sovereignty and believe in being our own bank. We support individuals acting as their own banks rather than an alternative bank like shitcoins and shitcoin casinos. But we're contributive significantly to Bitcoin adoption. Shouldn't you back us for our efforts a decade ago? That's not how it works. We support you when your actions are commendable, but we seize our support when your actions harm the cause. You don't get to rest on the laurels of what you did a decade ago. Frankly, the harm you've inflicted over the past decade far outweighs any previous benefits. What do we say? Shitcoiners make us all look bad. You should still support us, bro. Otherwise, they might target you next, bro. That remains to be seen. For one, Bitcoin doesn't have an obvious target. There's no central foundation or entity that conducted the coin offering. Moreover, Bitcoin was designed to withstand governmental assaults. Just because you're crumbling under such an attack doesn't mean we will. In fact, we believe we'll fare much better, and such an attack might finally make it clear to people that Bitcoin and crypto aren't synonymous. You're being incredibly toxic to you and other forms of centralized currency. Indeed, we are. We are not in this together. And as NVK put here, Bitcoin doesn't need you. You need Bitcoin. People who need Bitcoin will find Bitcoin. Repeat, internalize, and make this your morning mantra. And I think this is kind of where we are right now. What we've realized is, look, we're not bigger than Bitcoin. We are users of the Bitcoin network. And this is why Nico and I have taken a much more serious voice in regards to Bitcoin. Yes, we keep it lighthearted to entertain you, but I've understood one thing as well. Like, this is the most important thing we can be doing as a productive member of society, is pushing Bitcoin forward and instilling the best Bitcoin practices to people. And of course, it's not easy, but you need Bitcoin more than Bitcoin needs you. We are all interchangeable in regards to the network. No one is bigger than the network, and that's the beauty of Bitcoin. There is Bitcoin and there is shitcoin. Again, to double down on Odell's message, Bitcoin is designed to be incredibly resistant to government pressure and was built to withstand this exact situation. And as Alpaca SW says on Twitter, the party hasn't even started yet. This is just going after the exchanges. Going after the coins is level 2. And Odell says few understand this. And of course, I got to add a meme at the end of this. Say it with me now. There's Bitcoin and there is shitcoin, guys. If you still have shitcoin bags, highly recommend that you dump them, divest as soon as possible, hold Bitcoin only, take Bitcoin into self-custody, take it off exchanges. This is how you protect yourself. No one's going to protect you. You think these shitcoin casinos are going to protect you? You think the big daddy government's going to protect you? No. This is the whole thing we talk about here every single day. Take responsibility, take Bitcoin into self-custody. Do not trust anyone with your money. This is the whole thing that Satoshi designed. The financial system is designed on trust, and the middlemen have extorted that trust. Do not trust these people with your money. Take your Bitcoin into self-custody. I don't care where you get your Bitcoin from. Just make sure you take your Bitcoin into self-custody, because you cannot trust these people to not exploit you. We've seen this happen over hundreds of years. It's a common human occurrence. If you give people your money, they hold it long enough, they're going to abuse you. We don't have to take the abuse anymore. Anyways, I think I ranted enough.
Boom! Dropping hot fire. Holy crap. We have to do more culture. We have to do more culture segments like that. That was inspirational, Opti. Opti's back. Opti's back with the vengeance. Dude, I don't know what I could add to that, man. Just take your Bitcoin into self-custody. I think Opti covered it. Great. Anyways, guys, I want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, the Orange Pill app. It's building the social layer for Bitcoin. As crazy as this sounds, without the people, Bitcoin is just ones and zeros. Bitcoin is the people. Bitcoin is you. It's me. It's Opti. It's Satoshi. Download the Orange Pill app for iOS or Android. Connect with other Bitcoiners in real life. Find other plebs that live near you, and you can go into the app totally anon and search for other Bitcoiners by common interest. Orange Pill app is also the world's biggest repository for Bitcoin only events. If you want to meet other Bitcoiners in real life, this is the app for you. Sign up through the App Store, and you can even pay in sats. Download the Orange Pill app today. And Opti and I appreciate all the messages that we get from you guys. Thank you for all the love, everybody. Anyways, everybody, no more delay. Let's jump straight into the meme review. Let's do it.
The Daily Meme Review.
Brought to you by Kaboom Racks. I get this question all the time. Nico, where should I buy Bitcoin miners? The answer is Kaboom Racks. It's the best place to buy Bitcoin miners. That's where you're going to find the best deals and the best prices. Start your mining utopia today. To check out their racks, you got to go to t.me/Kaboom Racks. Join their Telegram group and start your mining journey today. Kaboom Racks. Kaboom.
Kaboom Racks. Wait, audience out there, say it with me. Kaboom Racks.
You gotta say it. You gotta be synchronized.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. Kaboom. All right. All right, guys, you already know this is the meme review. Shouts out to Wine in the chat. He's like, put the meme review first. Well, guys, you have to deal with everything to get your cupcake and cherry on top, which is the meme review. As you can tell, we are in an information war. Tweets are the bullets, memes are the artillery. Continue to get the calls of actions out there. Continue to ridicule the corporate press. Continue to keep your friends' morale up, because we really are soldiers in this battle. And as someone said, I think it was Moon Guy, BTC Moon Guy, I think it was, he said, hodl fatigue is real. And we've all, if you've been around for a cycle or two, even you have down days. And so it's important to continue to keep morale up, make sure you're spreading the Bitcoin signal. And also, hey, ridicule is one of our most powerful tools in the tool bag. So continue to ridicule the corporate press. Anyways, tag us on Twitter at Simply Bitcoin TV on Twitter, or drop them in our Telegram group, and I will do my best to get as many Bitcoin memes on the show as possible. Anyways, this first meme is by Maxie's Club, absolutely slaying it out there. I really like these, the format you have over here. Maybe it's because I'm colorblind and they're really bright and they pop. Anyways, we got a Bitcoin hodler here, a little Pepe hodler over here, and he has his orange cup that says GM. If you don't know, now you know. Good morning. And it's a hodler, and he's got his coffee. You know me, I'm drinking water now because I got too jacked up on coffee this morning. But the coffee going into his good morning cup as a hodler is just bullish Bitcoin tweets. And this is why all of you guys continue to show up on Twitter, so you can just stay bullish AF all day, every day. Anyways, this next meme is by Mitch Klee _, on Twitter. And he goes, it's that time of the week again. And we got what's this? I don't remember what the sport is, but it's the one where they slide the little circle thing on the ice. As you can tell, Opti doesn't remember anything about popular culture. But this is the Olympics, and we got the USA Olympic. What's it? All right, anyways, I'm not even going to try to remember what it is. And it's the Bitcoiner, and he's doing this funny pose, and he's sliding his weekly DSA because it's that time of the week again, and you're getting your paycheck, and you're going to stack them sats because all of us do the same thing, is you take a small amount of whatever money coming in, and you stack it consistently. Always pay yourself first. This is the way. Anyways, this next one, I really like this one. This is Anya, aka at JD Tesla 75 on Twitter. And she goes, founding fathers would be Bitcoiners. But the picture here is Mel Gibson in Braveheart. And he's got the early American flag, but with the Bitcoin logo on it and the laser eyes. I 100% believe that the founding fathers would also be Bitcoiners. And on this one, based off the last one, is this one. I know this one's a little on the gray lines, Nico, but anyways, this one's at BTC _culture, and he goes, who's in? Hashtag Bitcoin. And he goes, not all men just want sex. Some men just want to leave this sick society, start a Bitcoin citadel, and pay zero taxes. And all the Chad Bitcoiners go, perfect. This is the way. Okay. Anyways, this next meme.
We should rename this segment. Just make Opti makes Nico feel uncomfortable.
This is the way. Anyway, this next meme, that one was PG enough to withstand the YouTube.
That was PG-13, bro.
YouTube's okay with PG-13. Okay, next one
that wasn't PG. It was PG-13.
Dude, I just said the X word. It's not that bad.
It's a family-friendly show, Opti.
All right. I mean, I'll forgive me.
I guess not really.
I did that one. Hey, I know what my audience likes over here in the memes, and that was a good meme. Okay. Next one is at Greg Zaj 1, and he goes, "Why you so quiet? What's on your mind?" And we got this guy over here, and he's super quiet. And he goes, none of this shit falls on the side of the Howey test they want it to fall on. Absolutely wrecked and devastated. Anyways, this next meme is by the BTC therapist, and it goes, Gary's finally cleaning up the shit coins. Bitcoin will destroy your models. Nothing is priced in. And we got Gary Gensler here as Mr. Clean with the Bitcoin logo on him, and he's wiping away crypto. Absolutely wrecked out there. And of course, shouts out to my boy Copernicus, and he goes, Simply Bitcoin TV, we run the nodes. We were talking about this on Spaces yesterday. And here's the cat army, the caked army over here. And it goes, this is a play on, of course, the classic Fight Club node. We run the nodes meme. And it goes, we run the nodes. Do not fuck with us. This is the point of what we talk about all the time. Run the Bitcoin software for yourself. Take your Bitcoin into self-custody, and do not mess with the Kate army out there. What a day. What a day. Anyways,
freaking day, dude.
Drop your meme review score. Wait, in the chat, and we will cover it live. Anyways, my meme review score for today. Again, I am back here with BTC Pin Sat Obsessed Mentality, and I'm picking this card right here. Bitcoin is dead. What killed it this time? That's my score.
I'm going to give it an orange pill bottle
Ooh, the magnesium.
of magnesium. Focus. There we go. Magnesium.
Wow.
Magnesium.
Shouts out to Mike, our boy Mike Hobart. I was talking to him this morning and I was like, dude, I'm so jacked up on coffee. He's like, get some magnesium and some water. I'm like, oh, I'm out of magnesium. All right.
Wait. Before, I want to give a shout out to our clothing sponsor, RepresentLTD.com. Opti and I wear the merch every single day. Check out the classic Simply Bitcoin snapback hoodie. Opti's wearing the Simply Bitcoin merch. This is the classic blue hoodie. You could scan the QR code on your screen and it will take you directly to the website where you could purchase a Represent Simply Bitcoin classic snapback. And you can take advantage of the promo code.
Before we go in, the meme is curling, Olympic curling. Definitely forgot. All right.
Opti's a curler.
I wish.
Remember when we bowled?
Yeah, Nico's surprisingly good.
Opti and I bowled. We bowled.
I like bowling. Bowling's fun.
You just throw it hard.
Just throw it hard.
Just throw it hard. All right, Rave Elevator. Score. My S9's hunting for a solo block.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Someone got a solo miner got a block.
Good for you. Good for you. Love that. Guardian Healer. I give those memes one athlete in the sport known as curling, aka sliding the puck on the ice thing. Okay. Yeah. I like it.
Sliding the puck on the ice thing. This guy gets it.
Tyler Durden. Swallow the red pill. I score spoon. Very nice.
There is no spoon.
There is no red pill. It's an orange pill. Frank Arn, I give the memes a Canadian. That was a deep statement. If you know, you know. Frank Arn, I give the memes a Canadian soft landing while the entire place is literally burning. Planet Earth, my meme score lots of X this weekend for everyone building Bitcoin families. And the Opti filter fails once again.
That was PG-13.
Brent.
Wait,
Droid.
hold on. That was wholesome. We are building families. This is wholesome.
Brent Droid, I vote for the DCA curler. Obviously, Opti's not a golfer.
Hey, I am just learning how to golf. All right,
you just hit it hard, bro.
It's really a lot harder than you think.
You hit it hard. Phil C, I give these memes 10,000 stats for Munger's headstone.
Sheesh, this is not a call to violence.
Self-custody becomes the most used phrase, and people begin to take responsibility in everything they do.
We can only hope.
Whale tacos. I give the memes 1 metric ton of magnesium.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
What is that? I don't even know what that is. Victor,
keep going.
Victor Salazar, give the memes my pruned node score. Very, very good.
Wait, two more.
Hodl Coin, I give the memes a ticket / membership to that Citadel. Very, very nice. And then Think Orange, I give the memes PG-13. Citadel sounds boring. Amazing scores. Anyways, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to the Friday special of Simply Bitcoin. I know today was a special episode, but you guys were requesting it in the chat all week long. So we heard your calls, we heard your questions. We tried to get them answered. So yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in. If you enjoyed the episode, you know what to do. Smash that like button. Consider subscribing if we feel like we provided you value. But the number one thing you could do to help push the peaceful Bitcoin revolution is share Bitcoin content. Share this content, share Bitcoin content. Get the message out there so people like Erica Friedland can't just literally lie blindsided to the people. We got to educate people. We got to wake up people to the reality that it's not left versus right. It's orange versus green. And the way that you do that is just trying to open up people's eyes and be inclusive in your language. Be understanding of people's, differences and, backgrounds and religions and all that. None of that stuff matters. That is the divide and conquer. That is literally the divide and conquer. That's what they do. Try to pit you against each other while they print and rob everyone blind, right? And Bitcoin is the solution to this. Bitcoin is the great unifier. It will unify mankind. It will bring together people that, you could have never have imagined that they had something in common, but now they do have something in common. And that thing is Bitcoin, right? And that's the beauty of it. The incentives are aligned in this beautiful, beautiful network, that is really, really going to fundamentally change the world for the better. Anyways, guys, enjoy your awesome weekend. If you want to hang out in the Simply Bitcoin after party, check out Twitter Spaces, which we co-host with our friends over at Swan Bitcoin. Best place to build your Bitcoin stack. Shout out to the best producer in the game, producer Jacob. And we're going to be hosting that until 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But until then, I'll see you guys on Monday, 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of Simply Bitcoin Live. Peace out, everybody. Hello?